6 minutes ago, this lit up the phone with a message that said scam likely, and here is a record of that there was a message that appeared that said scam likely, and I'm going to testify that was while the phone was sounding a ringing sound. I was given the option to write a message like this, so I said yes. And this is the message that I entered in while it was ringing. And when I was done with it, I pressed send. And it's here as this record now. This is the number that it was in. Right there. And then this is the message I made. I tried to tell them that I was seeing a prompting message that says scam likely to tell me whether or not I want to answer this call. And I did not answer it with my VOICE. I made it a response by message, text message, even though it was ringing the phone. And this is the message I sent. And I'm not seeing a reply yet. This is 11:33 a.m., the sent message. And then up here it says the time right now is 11:40. And I'm going to testify that is a.m. The daylight is right there. So it's 11:40 a.m. How else to say that? Monday, October 13th at 11:40 a.m. So how do I see what date this was made? It says 11:40 a.m. Assume that means today because it doesn't tell you that it was yesterday or another day. But we don't know. I guess we can't assume. We don't know because it doesn't say today or now. Yeah, it says like 11:40 a.m. And then I would have to know by looking at another message. Let's say here. This says 3:42 a.m. It doesn't say today or earlier today. So let me look for, okay, yesterday. There it says yesterday here. 9:28 a.m. yesterday. So it's specific that way. It would say yesterday. I need to make a statement I don't want to make, but I'll make it anyway. I am the superior founder, deceased right here. I don't actually know what you do for a living, is what she said to me elsewheres, because it was just nothing but homeless, and I got tortured because I didn't have any real message about who and what I am as the soul of the superior founder deceased. And right here, I'm none higher than he deceased. I would say I'm none higher than me deceased right here, but that's not speaking. I'm me, none higher than he deceased, speaking. And I don't have what it takes to tell you that I know you personally. I don't. But you don't understand what it is to be in the presence of God here, and you don't know what it is to be in the presence of God in the afterlife. In the afterlife right now, it is angry. There are some in the afterlife right now. I'm not in the afterlife yet. I'm still alive, as you can see. But I am, when I come to the afterlife myself, I will be elsewheres in God's. So that means you will not see me in feminine genitals on the Godhead any longer. I will be the Godhead deceased, and that does not have genitals on that Godhead at all. And that's what I need. That's what I'm paying for. That's why I'm still alive. I am paying for that I will be deceased out of genitals on the Godhead. So how much longer is that going to take? Well, I am not doing a live at this time, but I am still alive because I don't just shut off a live because something went wrong. Something just went wrong, and I don't want to say why. I have homeless in the threatening that I just got my life extended by another 7 years, and I don't afford it. I cannot do the cleaning around here for 7 years. I am not full height at this time. I lost some inches of my height, and I don't mentally clean anymore, except for what I do for food because I do cook for myself. But I can't take over for all the cooking and cleaning because I'm deceased right here. I have always been deceased. If you see me, I am deceased, but it's homeless in the threatening. That means I don't know what to do with the money. So right here, I'm not moving the money. The money's moving around myself, and the money has been moving around my parents over my lifetime. If you think I need parents, they know who I am and I don't. Because I deceased myself another way. I didn't die of my parents. I died of myself being deceased in the threatening. And that's how I'll never have feminine genitals on the Godhead again, except for that I'm me and I'm an order. So, what are you going to do about that? I actually don't afford the way I've been hurt in this lifetime. And part of me did die, and I will not have feminine genitals on the Godhead because part of me did die right out of the way that I am formed. So I will ever tell you that I cannot move the creation with myself for 45 years of alive, or on the meter, we don't know how long it will live. If I ever was to have feminine genitals on the Godhead again, for you people who still talk to me like it's normal and you go about your day as though it's normal and it's really deceased for me, I really don't have feminine genitals on the Godhead for anyone who's near me, who's very, good. You're good people to yourself, but you're not good enough to be in genitals. I'm the one who alives your genitals because you don't alive yourself, and I don't have leverage to alive you anymore, even though you're still very nice, I guess. Nice snack foods at Walgreens, nice branded store brand bottled water at Walgreens. It's nice, all lowercase letters, NICE with an exclamation point. That's the store brand name of bottled water at Walgreens convenience store, with a joint with the pharmacy, which was there before you could get anything to eat. It's mostly, you can get over the counter things at Walgreens in the 80s and 90s. You could buy a bottle of aspirin at Walgreens, but now they're selling food items, and their store brand is nice, exclamation mark. And I don't afford to be nice anymore. I was just nice because I didn't have a choice, but I don't afford to be nice anymore because it's shouted deceased. I shouted in front of somebody who saw me grow my height and shrink. So I know Mitch, let's say in the year 1983, but I was alive in the year 1980, so I grew a little of my height before I met Mitch. And I have to testify that way. I can't use Mitch's birthday and say that I was a baby and I was born in a hospital again, because that would be multiple babies in the hospital, because I don't have a life that way, that he thinks I have a birthday and then I think I have a birthday, and that would be different. That it'd be different babies. I can't be a baby, right? It's some baby that's myself, and then it's a baby that he thinks there is. I can't use that he has a birthday and he thinks that I'm a baby. I don't have a life that way. I do have a life that I was the size of a 3-year-old in my house, and I lived there for some time before I saw Mitch for the first time inside my house. So I had already been there for maybe about 3 years. So I grew my height about 3 inches before I met Mitch, and that's my testimony. So I'm going to say that I know who I am in the money, but I don't know Mitch right here, which is that I grew from the size of maybe a 6-year-old all the way until I was about almost 15 years old, and I was full height. Between 14 and 15 years old, I was full height. And then from that time, so about 15 until I was about 47 years old, 48 years old. I'm still 48. So 15 until 48 years old. 15 to 45, that's 30 years. So 33 years of full height, and then not full height by shorter by about between 2 and 3 inches. So that is Mitch seeing me lose my height after I've known him for 33 years at full height. And I've known him longer than that. He saw me grow. So I don't afford that he sees that I lost some of my height, because that's unsoportable. En español is unsoportable, insoportable. I can't support it. I don't afford it. And I don't want to say it anymore, that I'm not nice that way. But it's nice because he's Mitch, because I've known him my whole life. And that's what's wrong with it. I'm not really a sister that way. His sister is Cheryl, and I am the order, and it's my house. I don't really have a family. I have a house. I have a last name, but it's not for a family. It's from my house, had occupants in my house. If I was going to name myself, my name would be maybe Becky Luck or Becky Lucky Hall, something like that. Hall, Hall, Hall is the problem for me. What happens in the hall is what's wrong with it. So it would be Becky Lucky Hall, or Lucky Hall, or Lucky Becky Hall, or Becky Luck, or Becky Luck Hall, something like that. And I can't name myself because it doesn't have any money. It would be just for maybe some certain recorded event in my life, but I don't need the body Godhead to be named. I didn't die of being named. I didn't live off of being named. So it's not really named. I am God deceased right here.